Hello everyone. So today in this video I'm going to explain how you can start your career with data scraping and how it will be useful for your different purposes, and I'll try to explain how you can start your career with this data scraping process. So let's start with our next slide. So let's start by understanding what data scraping is and why it is useful in different scenarios, especially that is related to data. So data scraping is a process where you will be able to extract information from website that will allow you to automate different tasks or automate data entry processing that will save a lot of your time. For example, you have a website that contains a lot of articles, for example, and you want to create an Excel file that will have all those article titles and maybe a link to that article so that you can find out uh, how many repeated words those article titles have and their maybe frequency, for example, or if you want to pass it to AI for checking what is the common article topics that people usually prefer to write. And there are many other use cases that you can use data scraping for. For example, if you have an e-commerce website that you want to extract product information from, or if you have, let's say, one website in Shopify and you want to make a duplicate copy of this Shopify website to another Shopify website for data migration, for example, and this is where data scraping automation will come in handy. So, what are the essential tools that you have to have in order to uh, automate the data scraping process? So, we have different scraping frameworks that are very popular. For example, we have Selenium, we have Playwright, we have Selenium where then we have no driver library, we have requests library, and a lot of library that are related to Python. And Python is a programming language that is very popular for this type of scenario, although you can use any other programming language if you understand the basic concept of it. But Python is more used because it is feature rich for this type of scenario and has been widely used, and you have to learn those web scraping frameworks, and we have different browser developer tools as well. And if you understand programming, let's say that you are a front-end programmer or front-end developer, you already know a browser inspection tool, I think. So browser development tool will help you analyze different pages and their HTML structure. So you have to understand web development at least to start your journey with web scraping. So it helps you inspect and analyze those HTML structure and extract the information out of it. And there are different data extraction libraries available too. For example, most popular is the Beautiful Soup, and also we have Scrapy library that enables flexible data handling and parsing. So these are useful for extracting structured HTML information from any website, and you will be able to um, see clean data after the extraction process finishes. So there are different scraping methods that could be data scraping using, like let's say that web script from different libraries such as Selenium that uses browser to actually navigate through the website and extract information using those libraries. And we have different APIs available from a different website, which could be internal APIs or external APIs that are dedicated available. So you have to find out from which source you want to extract the information. And data mining is the process of analyzing large data set and revealing valuable insights and patterns. So you can use different analytics uh, information to actually understand how the data is used for different purposes, and how you can plan your project, or you can your approach you can plan your approach as well in data scraping methods. So let's move on to the next one. So how you can start building your web scraper environment. So basically you have to install all the libraries that are required for the project. For example, you have to install Python, you have to install different libraries such as Selenium, then Beautiful Soap, then Scrapy. Then you can also install different extraction tools that are available for different scenarios apart from Beautiful Soap. So these are what you have to gather first. And once you have set everything up, your target is to locate a target website and try to analyze the website to understand how they have been structured and how you want to extract and what you want to extract as well. So here we are in the final slide, and this is where I'll be explaining more in depth. So I would ask you to be patient while I explain what you have to do here. So first of all, the HTML is the base if you want to start your career with data scraping. So here we will be using automation to actually extract information from a target website. So we have to understand how HTML works and how a website has been designed. So here you have to start learning HTML if you haven't already, and then you have to understand how CSS works and how CSS helps HTML pages to be structured, and how they are designed. Then in some cases there are JavaScript rendering as well, so you have to understand how reverse engineering of data, or how reverse engineering of JavaScript source code works, so that you can read what the backend code of a JavaScript file does, so that you can understand how they actually show their data. Then you have to understand request response cycle. So the request response cycle is basically nothing but understanding how a website works. So basically, when you open a browser interface, when you enter a website, it sends the request to their server, and then the server returns the information back to you. So this is the request response cycle, and there are different type of methods used to make a request and get the response. For example, there are get request, there are post request. So get request is used to get the information from a server directly, and post request is used to send form information or form data to server and get response back from the server. And there are other uh, methods available too. For example, there are put, there are delete, there are uh, fetch options available too as a request response cycle system. And there are also available programming language, but Python is one of the most used programming language for this type of scenario. So you have to learn Python. First, you have to start with the basics of Python so that you can get the grasp of how programming works, and then you have to learn the libraries that are used for uh, automating the web scraping process flow. So, for example, you have to learn how to use Selenium to actually navigate through different websites, and how to use Beautiful Soap or Selenium's own uh, element detection and data extraction methods to understand how to interact with a page and how to interact with HTML of a website data. So these are the libraries you have to study first after learning the base of Python, and then there are different firewalls as well. So in a certain website, you will be able to notice that there will be some checks going on to determine whether you are a human or a robot. So you may have seen websites having Cloudflare protection. So basically, this does what is they actually check your browser to understand if you are a human accessing their website or a robot. So if you are not a human, they will ask you to verify yourself by solving CAPTCHA, which an automated software cannot solve. So you have to understand how these firewall works and how to bypass them to actually automate your use case. And to bypass them, there are different libraries available, such as NoDriver or maybe Crawl for AI. And there are many other libraries available that you can use for bypassing those firewalls. So here we have capture solving system as well. So in certain website you will see forms having captcha that needs to be solved, so you have to integrate API integration system that will solve the captcha automatically for some fees that you have to bear for automating such scenarios. So it comes in handy when you have a budget for automating a particular website, but if they have a captcha system that needs to be solved using automation. Also, you have to understand different techniques to actually efficiently access the website and get the information extracted. So you have to be selective about how many techniques you select and which technique you actually select for the process. For example, some website can uh, ask you to use browsers to view their website. So in this case, you cannot use um, libraries or techniques that does not use browser interface. So there are different ways you can access a website with. For example, using Selenium, you can use the browser instance to actually access the website. And if you use request library, it does not use a browser, but it will be making HTTP request to the website to access the response of the website. And a request library is mostly used for its efficiency and less resource usage uh, specialty. And if you use any other library such as Selenium or Playwright, they actually use browser instances and they are not suitable if you have a very less amount of resources available. And in certain cases, you may struggle to deploy your project in the cloud if you use any browser-based automation. But at the same time, certain website may ask you to use browser interface to actually access their website. Otherwise, they will probably trigger their firewall system to prevent you from accessing their website. So these are the techniques that you have to be learning before you actually go full throttle in your web scraping journey. So this is what you have to learn. And so at first, let me recap everything. So at first, you have to learn HTML and CSS. Then this will help you understand how a website works and how they are structured. And it will also help you understand how to extract particular information from a specific page, because this is what you have to learn in order to extract certain information that you want to extract. And also you have to learn different request response cycles so that you can understand which type of request you have to make in order to get the response of the website back. Then you have to learn a programming language, where Python is mostly used programming language among all others. And you have to learn different libraries such as request library, bs4 library, or beautiful so it is called. And you have to learn Selenium, then Playwright. Then there are many other libraries such as NodeDriver, then Crawl for AI, and there are many more I can name, but these are the most common ones. Then you have to learn the firewalls and how to bypass them. For example, Cloudflare is most common. There are other firewalls as well, like Imperva. Some website uses their own made firewalls that prevents you from accessing them repeatedly. So you have to be careful about how many request you make per second, and different other things. So you have to understand how solving of captcha works, and how you can integrate captcha solving process when necessary. Then you have to understand how different techniques for web scraping are used for accessing different website in different scenarios, and you have to prioritize what you want to achieve. For example, if you want to extract information faster, you have to make your whole system lightweight, as well as it has to be slow. I mean, it has to be multi-threaded as well. So in Python programming or any other programming language, you have to learn how multi-threading works. So multi-threading is basically splitting up different workloads to run in parallel, so that you can save time by doing multiple things at once. So this is a cool thing to learn when you learn the web scraping, so that you can speed up in certain scenarios by multi-threading the whole process, so that it can process multiple links, for example, at once, to process multiple data into your output file. So that's what you have to learn in order to start your career with web scraping automation. And I hope you learned something from this video. And whatever you have here so far hasn't been scripted. So you may be noticed that I was going out of ideas to uh, tell what to do here. But I hope you can understand how you can start your career with web scraping automation. And if you have any question about how to start, or if you want to know more about it, you can write down in the comment section below. And if you like the video, please like the video as well, and subscribe for more like this. And thank you for watching.